Hello, this is the Awkward GM Corbin, and I'm here with my lovely guest Travis on this winter break ish
Yes.
season.
I hope everybody had a happy and safe holiday and proceeds to have a happy and safe new year. Don't go out. It's amateur hour. Stay in. Be safe.
Be safe indeed. Drink some extra eggnog if you have it lying around. I know I have been.
There you go.
And get your multicolored dice out. So for this Trinity Continuum Assassins one-on-one shot, what are you bringing, Travis? Let's get right
Uh,
into it.
sure. So I've drawn up Joan Maxwell. Joan Maxwell is a street rat sniper as a part of a vigilante group within the Swarm.
Hmm.
Um,
Swarm.
so, yep.
I love those guys. The workshop people, the corporate
Yes.
overlord assassins in a way.
Pre- Precisely. So yeah, she's a sniper. She grew up in a street gang who she still has some connections to, and has some informant contacts in the dark web. And she has access to a weapons dealer. Um, Her masteries are an entire life at glance, impossible angles, no escape, and reveal all.
Uh, all great ones. I think I was just looking at a few of those. An entire life at a glance. I think is the one where it's like information when you kill someone. Like you gain it when you kill them. If I recall correctly.
So that's the one I think. Let's see. I think that's the one that lets me stack like an absurd amount of uh, doomed
Oh, that's the
conditions.
one that like drops two doom on your
Yeah, I
target.
spent an inspiration and dropped two doomed on the target.
Yeah, I get you on that one. That one's a good one. Uh, so let's just jump right in. You are going to get
Sure.
a red envelope sent to your room at a Hotel Asilia in Iceland. Hot spring set up, wonderful, wonderful relaxation time if you had time to relax and not be on the job. The envelope will ask that you join a private meeting with a conference call with the Big Five.
Okay.
This is a high profile contract, and they want to make sure that the job gets done and the job is done right.
Sounds good. What are the deets? What do I need to know?
Media details are the target is a rather lucrative businessman in the north of where you are who basically has a monopoly on toy sales in a lot of the known world. He is what some might call a pagan god from the eldritch abomination times, and other people call Nick. For you are taking on one of the most difficult contracts any assassin has ever been known to take on, and that is to kill Santa Claus.
Oh, geez.
Bum bum
Well,
bum.
I guess I've had worse. Uh, do we have any? I know he's kind of slippery. Do we have any idea of whereabouts, movements, any intel on this, or am I digging it all up on my own?
The base details are he has a fortress in the North Pole area, um, some sort of compound, though the service does not get up that far, and it is very dangerous to get even close to where he is. Um, However, with orbital orbital satellite imaging, they're able to guess that basically he's slap dab on top of what would be the North Pole if it were physically there. And additionally, that there are at least maybe, let's say, there's a village around him of people who seem to be elves. We're not sure where they came from. We think they might just be people with pointy ears and maybe like a slight height deficiency. But that doesn't mean that they're all that. It could just be propaganda.
Do we know how many roughly there are?
Roughly, the village itself probably has many people who would be considered daylight workers, but as far as security detail goes, there is the knowledge that he does have probably about 12 elf bodyguards that are on his private property in the village next to his factory.
Do we know how big the village is?
We could say it's roughly the size of like a small suburban uh, small suburban town, like maybe about like at most like 3 miles in diameter or something.
Okay, and do we have do I actually have an address, or like do we have a landmark? Do we know where the purpose or where the target's going to be, I should say?
There is a mansion next to what is basically a giant factory.
Okay.
And mansion is basically made out of gingerbread, has candy cane, uh, towers set up. Um, there is something that from imaging looks to be some sort of looks like an anti-aircraft cannon made out of like gingerbread and cream, and that's like the edges of it are sort of wrapped in excuse me, hard candy.
Okay. And what are the road conditions going up there? Am I going to need to like hoof it in? Do I need to get airdropped in? Can I drive in?
We can get you an airdrop in if you wish to try and get as close as possible. Though we highly recommend bringing some sort of all-terrain vehicle or snowmobile up there. Um,
Uh, all right. I have a motorcycle. Will that work?
Motorcycle. I mean, if I believe I think a motorcycle would work, especially with given how assassins can use what is essentially archaic technology as boon, like as if it's modern day craziness. I
Yeah,
would
I
say
mean
yeah.
this is tricked out with like anti-theft and AI assist and high maneuverability and speed. So I'm hoping that that will uh, let me navigate. If you can like drop me out early, drop me outside of town, and then I can ride my bike, try to get to a good vantage point.
Okay, yeah. So the service will get you situated with that. They've got you a essentially a small private airplane set up with you having having your bike, and your bike is set up with a parachute on the back so that you can parachute shoot down with it.
Then can I just get like I know I've seen like sometimes on like on like a bike you'll put like the ski attachment for the front wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll grab one of those if I can before I head out.
Sounds good. We can definitely do that. Oop, accidentally open up the wrong window. So you're going in. You've got these service guys set up. Is there anything else you want to do though before going in, or you think you're ready for this?
Make sure I have my weapons on the ready. Make sure that everything is good to go. That my vehicle is all gassed up and I'm fully armed and locked and loaded. Make sure that I've got my reinforced clothing on underneath my winter wear.
The briefing before you go in they'll say the contract hold, the patron who has requested this wishes for expediency prior to the holiday season.
Sure, fair enough.
And we'll say it's a flashback to last week or something
Okay. Yeah, I
in
mean,
real time.
I'm gonna try to knock it out real quick so I can. I don't like being in the cold. Um,
Okay. So you get set up, you're situated on the aircraft, and you're going to be catapulted out through or parachuted out through the back of this plane. Uh, how close do you want to get?
um, is it possible? Is there anywhere within about 500 yards of the place where I could get laid down and not cause a whole bunch of attention?
You can try, and the guys who are flying will say we can do it. We need someone to spot us trying to get in, trying to give us some way of getting in there without getting smoked ourselves. Keep an eye out for anything, and maybe you can help us get in there a little bit more stealthfully than we would normally.
Um, yeah, I mean, alternatively, you can drop if it's safer, you can just drop me off outside of town. And I can roll in.
Okay, it's safer if you want to deal with polar bears, but sure.
I mean, you know,
Okay,
polar bears aren't gonna botch the job for us.
okay. They'll be able to get you out, but you're going to still have to make the jump. What skill plus attribute would you like to use for jumping out of this airplane with your motorcycle?
I would say Dex Pilot if I could.
Go right ahead. I will say we'll give it a difficulty 2 with a complication of 1, and the complication would be something akin to you leak your gas tank, so you're only going to be able to get in with it, but not out.
Sure. Does my handling enhancement apply?
Yes, I would say so.
All right. So that's 1, 2 with the enhancement. That's 3.
That's 3. All right, you paid it off. You get it out. How badass is this landing?
So I think what I'll do is like as they're kind of swooping down to let me out, I'll just throw my bike in reverse and like back out as I'm falling outward, and then hit the parachute as I swing back forward. Lands preferably on something high, so I can take advantage of some of the like just like gravity do some of the work for me and getting me sped up so that I can sort of zip into a fairly remote area. I'm looking for somewhere that is high, that is close, like within
Yeah.
500. Less. My max range on my weapon is 1,000 yards, so I want to be somewhere within the 500 to 1,000 yard range.
Okay. Well, I'd say
Um,
you can get about you're gonna be about 2,000 out because they're not letting you get there. They're not bringing you close enough to get hit by an AA gun.
right, right.
So you're gonna go sliding down the side of this mountain. There's this giant spray of snow coming across. Probably not seen by people over in the factory or anything, but that you're just riding down. There's this huge plume of snow in the air as you are riding down what is essentially an avalanche at this point. But you manage to stay afloat, and you're smooth sailing now into the tundra, as it were. Now, we did mention polar bears.
We did.
Uh, Give me some sort of check, probably a survival. I don't know what attribute, to try and avoid accidentally finding yourself hitting into that sort of complication.
How about a survival cunning? Does that work?
Yes, go for it. Also, I'll put it at a difficulty 1. It's not that bad of a snowstorm right now.
That would be 2.
Dude. You manage to swerve quickly as you see a couple of polar bears with their cubs drinking some cokes and putting on some sunglasses, and you swerve around them. You sort of do a double take, and you keep going, flying high, and you get to what appears to be a sort of like top of the mountain type of Grinch, the Who of Whoville, staring down what appears to be an elf village surrounding a giant factory that looks the equivalent to a fire truck red or Christmas sleigh red. Um, Probably some sort of gumball. I'll say I don't. Some candy. Use too much candy cane and gingerbread, but it is on theme.
There you go. All right, as soon as I get settled in and I have a good line of sight on the place, I'm gonna take out my rifle. I'm gonna use my thermal scope and see if I can get a good look at who's inside, figure out placement.
I have to remind myself: there's some sort of rule for tactics, or because you're trying to locate him, right?
Yeah,
We can give you can argue anything on here. I think for me, like you could say humanities for I don't know where he might be, where
I
he
mean,
might be at the
if I
time.
could just use like straight up aim and cunning, so I'm
Oh
basically
yeah,
doing a sweep.
yeah, go for it.
Does my infiltration, specialization, and larceny apply?
Yeah, I would say so. I'll give you a I'll give you a difficulty 4 on that because it is pretty closed off.
And I assume I'm getting all of the bonus for the enhancement for the tactical site
Yeah,
and the tactical and thermal. So,
yeah, I would say so.
all right, so that's one on the die, and then three enhancements. So that's four.
We got a raid. Thank you for the raid.
Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah. Oh, that's all right. I caught him.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Drew Bennett. Um, but yeah, on that bright shiny, it's a four total
Okay, you're going to be
with
able
my
to.
enhancement.
You're going to see Santa is already suited up right now, and he's out at what appears to be a airfield next to his shop, next to his workshop. There are about 9 reindeer set up with one with a red nose at the tip of the sleigh area. They're not hooked in yet, but it looks like he's running them through drills, getting them running up and down, flying overhead a little bit. It's a little bit hard to get a good shot off, or get a clean shot, but at least you know where he is for the moment.
Okay. Um, what is intervening? What's preventing me from getting a clean shot?
Oh, just other reindeer are flying around, animals.
Okay. And he's not currently in the sleigh. He's like directing them from the
He's
ground.
directing them from the ground. There are a few elves hanging around. They are up to his about his waist. He's like 6'6" and has a giant bowl full of jelly set up.
Okay. I think what I will probably do is um, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to follow him effectively, just keep locked on him with my scope so that I can try to make sure that the moment a opportunity presents itself, whether it be out here in the field or as he's going into another residence or whatever, that I can take my shot.
Hmm.
I'll be relying largely on my danger sense to keep me safe out here, so that I can pay as much attention as I can to the actual shot. And I just want to, if I can, I'd like to bank up a little bit of enhancement for myself as I'm aiming.
Yeah, I would say you can. Now, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find the rule. It's not marked for death. Marked for death is something else. There's the when you're focusing, when you're creating opportunities and stacking them. Do you remember what that's called? I'm trying to. I
Oh
I usually
no.
have a I usually have a reference sheet, but here that's not it. That's for aberrant. That is there. I I apologize. I always forget this one. It's always hard for me to find it when I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
that's
when I
okay.
really need it. Clash, killing blow. Some masteries give an assassin access. Okay, so that's a firm mastery, and then that do we already did. That do doesn't factor in. Overwhelmed by memory doesn't factor in. Doom condition doesn't factor in. Sudden peril. For every success you spend on this stunt. Oh no, that's a stunt. Ah,
So
yeah,
basically, it says that engaging in the session story sequence means the target gains the mark for death condition.
yeah.
That's
I found Mark for Death. Finally, thank you.
Yep.
So every opportunity attacks upon the target that align with the opportunity bypass or nullify whatever defensive skill the target has. Additionally, often realized opportunity that's capable of stacking, such as forcing the target to from away from their schedule to a secluded spot, or previously eliminating their security, increases the assassin's relevant scale by one. So right now you have no scale unless you have an ability that gives it to you.
Well, I have a weapon that's creating scale. I do have uh, a couple of masteries that I think I could actually bring into bear here, given the circumstances. But of course, I defer to your wisdom on that. Aside from, as we discussed, the entire life at a glance. Um,
Entire life at a glance. The first time you meet a character in person during a session, you may spend an inspiration to inflict 2 points of doom on them.
for the purposes of me stalking him from a distance, does that count as meeting them, or do I have to like engage with him?
Um, I'll say this counts as meeting him.
Yeah, I will spend an inspiration to inflict 2 points of doom on him.
Hmm.
So that's that. I will then, and I'm assuming I have rounds with which to do this, so that I can, so I don't have to try to dump all this inspiration at once, because I'm watching him for several minutes, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the next is I would like to use. Let's see. So I've stacked 2 levels of doom on him. Um, I would like to declare him my target for the purpose of no escape. It doesn't actually cost me anything to activate.
Okay.
I just get 2 enhancement on all rolls to track or pursue him, and access to the die running stunt whenever in direct pursuit of the target. Which basically I get to, when I'm pursuing them, I get to spend successes on the die running stunt. Each success grants another stack of the doomed condition.
I think once you get it down to -4, I think you for Doom when you have four, It reduces the crits cost to 0 successes. So you just need to get one success essentially, and you automatically hit and crit. If
Yep.
I'm reading that right.
Yep. And then the last thing that I want to do, uh, because I know that there's a lot of interference here,
Mhm.
but I am in range and I do have impossible angles. Um, so I would like to um, spend an inspiration to ignore uh, any cover or concealment my opponents might be utilizing for the remainder of the scene. Additionally, ignore all complications, excluding those from injuries to ranged attacks. If it was imposed by opponent's gift or mastery, this provokes a clash.
Okay,
So basically, any impediments to my ranged attacks, I will be ignoring.
sounds good.
Um, and then I just want to take a good old aimed shot.
Your kids didn't get the right Christmas gift this year. Blame Travis.
Precisely. Um, so yeah, I guess in terms of aiming, I do not actually have the sniper edge.
Mhm.
So like in terms of aiming, can I just use like can I ratchet enhancement for a one round while I try to lock in the aim, whether that be with maybe integrity to keep my concentration together,
I will say
larceny to figure out which way it's going around, something where I can basically stack an enhanced stunt before I fire the rifle.
I'll say yes, but I'll say we max it out at 5, like in Story Path Ultra has that limitation, I think.
Oh, sure, yeah, yeah, that's fine.
But
Uh,
any scale, additional scale you have goes over that.
okay, so it's larceny, cunning maybe,
Yeah, cunning.
and will my aim specialization in rifles act as an enhancement for this?
We'll say yes.
Beautiful. That's one, two, that's three, uh, four, five with the enhancement.
5 with the enhancement. So you take the that's you taking the shot.
That's me taking aim.
That's you taking aim. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically building an enhanced stunt for my next round where I'm going to take a shot.
Okay. He's he's walking. He's walking. You've got it. You think you got it.
Excellent. I would like to then fire. I would like to rely on dexterity and aim for my shot. I would like to spend another point of inspiration for um, uh, extraordinary effort
Mm-hmm.
to increase the scale of this effort by one. Um, the weapon I am using is a enhanced rifle with heavy weapon, extendable bayonet,
Mm-hmm.
ranged, tactical sight, uh, thermal vision, two-handed, and ballistic. So I have an enhancement of one plus the five that I got from my aiming. And then it is scale two normally, but I did a extraordinary effort, so this becomes scale three.
Okay. Now there, I will say the stamina scale for Santa is 2.
Okay. So I will effectively be sitting at a plus one scale when it comes to the damage.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's
I get a couple of extra uh, enhancements to that because of the tags on my weapon.
maybe that's what I should have put in the in Story Path Nexus for Christmas. I should have put in Santa Claus stats.
There you go. And now you got one for next year.
I've got one for next year.
Hope I don't totally screw this roll up. Oh, it's not totally screwed up. Let's see. It's not great though. It's two, three, three material successes plus the five enhancement. So that's eight to hit.
That hits.
And
His
that's
defense
before.
his defense was 4, but you reduced his defense, I think, because of the doomed condition.
Okay, because he had two stacks of doomed on him.
Yeah, so he would be
Um,
reduced down to a defense of 2, I think.
all right,
And then
and
your
so,
crit becomes cost of 2.
right, but so again, I was at 7 to hit, right?
Yeah.
My scale is one above his, so I can buy inflict injury twice effectively without needing to get into crits,
Yeah.
right? Um, so what's the actual? You're just using defense, right? So it's just 1 for 1 for regular inflict after you overcome the defense, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's that'll eat because I get +1. I get +2 enhancement from heavy weapon toward dealing inflict injury.
Mm-hmm.
So those two will go down with the heavy weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So it leaves me 5. Um, so then those are going to be crits, and those are going to be 2 each, right?
Yeah.
So 2, 4. So that's 2 crits. So it's a total of 4. Oh, and I get another +1 for two-handed. So that's total of 5 levels of damage to Santa Claus Dome.
Dome. Okay, so gets it right in the chest. There is this giant splurt of purple goo as it falls out of his stomach, and he is writhing. He gives a guttural as his teeth start to get elongated, and he drops to all fours for a second. He seems to be disoriented, but a couple of the deers are blocking, are trying to block him as cover, and several others are currently scouting the area to see where the shot came from. He is not down for the count yet.
All right.
But he is very close to it. You bursted his belly full of jelly. Or
uh, beautiful. Well, in that case, I just want to check and see what this no escape does for me. Um, oh, I forgot my +2 enhancement because I had no escape active on him.
oh, okay.
So I would like to, if I could, retroactively, add that +2 enhancement as doomed condition stacked for this next attack that I'm about to make on him again.
Okay.
Um, I am going to, because the deer are starting to, well, you know what? I'm a lot quieter not on my bike. Actually, I was going to have my bike and try to start making my getaway good, but I want to make sure I nail the shot first. So I'll be rolling again. I don't get the bonus from the aim anymore, but I still do get the 2 for the scale of the weapon, 2 for the no escape, and then just the actual like +2 or +3 enhancement the weapon has in it. So 2, 5, 7 enhancement. Woo!
Fingers crossed.
1, 2, 3. Oh, to be a Nova. 4, 5,
Maybe Santa is a Nova.
6. Yeah, it might be at this level. So that's 6 on the die. +1, 2, +1, 2, 3. So +1. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 successes.
Let's just say.
Actually, it's more because it's silence too. So I literally.
How do you want to do it?
I think I want to take like if I can double tap, right? So the first shot just like takes the beard off and he's like reeling back from the beard and like looking back. Like I want him to see me just before, like I want him to see the little pop off in the snow. as the little bitty report from my silenced uh,
You
rifle.
you look right into his eyes, and you see in the rifle you see these bloodshot eyes, and as you look closer, it's not bloodshot, it's the spirals of mint candy cane looking right at you.
And I will put a bullet right in, like I'll treat it like a bullseye and just put a bullet straight through it.
Straight through. It goes right through. There's this blood splatter. It's amazing. It's great. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie, but it's also jam because it's Santa, and he's just
Right, sure.
apparently his entire circular system is replaced with jam for some reason. It is getting very close. The deer, having heard the death knell of their rider, as it were, are in their own bout of rage as they are coming barreling towards you.
All right. On that note, I will hop on my bike and start getting the ever loving hell out of there.
Hey, do you have speed scale?
I do have speed scale.
I'm gonna
In fact,
say they're a moderate threat. Oh, we'll say a medium threat, and they've got speed scale too.
okay, I have speed scale 3 on the bike. I also have maneuverable and AI assist to help me out.
Okay.
Um, Now I have the reveal all mastery,
Mm-hmm.
and
The assassin immediately pinpoints anyone hidden within medium range. If anyone is disguised, she sees through it, and if they're hidden behind an object, she knows they are there.
yep. So I just want to
You
kind of keep that going as I'm whipping through.
you know where they've you know when they are sleeping. You know when they are awake.
Right.
Okay.
So just kind of keeping my eyes peeled as I'm just peeling off to whatever the extraction point might be.
Okay. There is the extraction point set up before. Carrier helicopter for you. I don't know. I'm just tossing out military words that I don't know. Uh,
That's
but
fair. I'm gonna.
there's a helicopter where you can ride your bike into it. It is uh, 3 clicks away, and which is equivalent of basically you need to beat difficulty 3 and a complication of 2 for let's say there is a bombardment happening
Okay.
from the deer
All
of
right.
pellets that are larger than they should be.
Excellent. So would that be a dexterity pilot?
Dexterity pilot, go for it.
Awesome.
It's difficulty
Um,
3 and complication 2.
okay. Shockingly, that's 4 on the dice. It's 5 on the dice.
Ooh.
Uh, Plus my uh, handling with the vehicle is +1, so that's 6 total.
Okay.
Um, the AI assist only helps if I'm multitasking and I'm not. So,
Okay.
um,
You managed to dodge out of the way of many blasts of giant brown snow plumes that are surrounding you. The when you get further down, you can see that the helicopter is ready for you. They're already have it down. The engine's running. The deer are pulling off for the moment. They might come back while you're in in takeoff, but for the moment, you have a clear ride into it, and you do a screeching halt as you're like an inch from where uh, you would have hit the wall of the cockpit,
what
essentially.
I'd what I'd like to do, if I can, if this is
Yeah.
not too smooth, is I would like to, as I hit the back of the chopper, like hop off my bike, like go side saddle, drop the bike so that it's effectively a piece of cover,
Mhm.
and then lay on it. Like as I'm sliding into position, I'll fall laying on it with my gun pointed out so I can start picking off reindeer.
Yeah, go for it. Take a shot.
All right, excellent.
Their defense is 3.
Now, I'm not using a enhanced feat of skill with them, but I do still have scale on the weapon. So we are looking at 1, 2, 3 on the dice. That's 3 more for heavy weapon. Well, it's 3 on the dice to hit,
Okay.
right? And that beats the defense, right?
That does.
So you get 3 more from the heavy weapon, 1 for just heavy weapon, and then 2 for the scale.
Mhm.
And then I get 1 more for two-handed.
So,
So
how much
that's
damage?
4. I have 4 enhancement I can spend on damage.
Okay.
So because I have scale 2 and they're scale 1, the first 2 of those would go for injury conditions. The next 2 of those, I guess I would have to. Um, oh, you know what I'll do for the next 2 of those is I will activate the die running stunt and drop 2 levels of doomed on that on Rudolph.
There's this giant, like, bang as you see a red spark hit off the nose of Rudolph. Rudolph is falling down, down, injured but not yet dead. Couple of the deer, the helicopter is taken off. A couple of the deer are going to kamikaze into the blades to try and take them out.
I'll shout, "Take evasive action! It's a Yule tide!"
Take an evasive action. If you'd like to roll the if you'd like to roll the resistance stat, and I'll give you a +2 enhancement for the helicarrier.
Sure. Rolling one of my resistance stats.
Yeah, you can roll any one of them. It's magic.
Sure. I'd like to go with stamina because it's my good one.
Yeah.
Um, Not that good today though. Apparently,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
knew
give
my
you.
dice. We're gonna have to fail me at some point tonight. I got a big fat goose egg on my stamina roll.
Okay. One of the reindeer manages to hit the blade, and the chopper is starting to go spinning and spiraling as it is probably it is just getting over the water at this point. And they're like, "We can't take another hit like that. We need to do something. We need a Christmas miracle."
I will. I will say one Christmas miracle coming right up. And which reindeer is the one that's close to us that's doing all the damage?
Uh, well, so Dasher just went through the blade, so Dasher's gone, but Comet is still behind.
Right. Excellent. I'm going to drop my last inspiration on a life a glance on Comet. I'm gonna take my shot.
Would you like to add momentum?
Yeah. How much do I have? 2.
You have 2, and you can spend 2. I'll let you spend 2.
I will do that. I'll go 2 more dice for momentum. All right. We love to see it. Okay, so that's 1, 2 on the die. I've got the scale on them, so it's +1 for the heavy weapon. So that would be, and then just +1 for the actual gun. So it's 4 to hit. Does that overcome the
Yeah,
defense?
that hits.
Excellent. And does that leave me any enhancement, anything
It
left
leaves
over?
you 1 success because defense 3.
Okay. So then that kicks in the extra 3 from the heavy weapon. No, it's 2 for the
Extra
heavy weapon.
2.
and an extra one for two-handed.
Mhm.
I would have had an extra to hit with the thermal vision. So I should have 4 successes,
Okay.
of which I can spend 2 on uh, inflict injury, and because I dropped 2 doomed on him, I can spend 2 for a crit. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3 damage as I
The
fire at Comet.
comet comet becomes a meteorite as the bloody streak falls into the water, and at that point, there are no more reindeer following you guys. It's a clean shot all the way back to Iceland.
I will shout at the pilot. I did my part. You get us there safely.
Well, Merry Christmas, man. Well, Merry Christmas, ma'am. We got you. Got it. You got the
And
target.
a happy Festivus. Yes, I got the target and a couple of his little friends
Oh
too.
yeah. I don't. I don't celebrate Festivus. I'm more of a Kwanzaa guy myself.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Whatever blows your hair back.
God bless us, everyone, except that fucker. Sorry. What did I drink today?
a
This was
lot
just
of
water.
a lot of spiked eggnog.
No, I had Chinese food before I came onto this, and I've been avoiding alcohol and substances for for the month. So,
That's fair. That's fair.
and you head off into the sunset, and in a dark boardroom somewhere, there's Mrs. Claus sitting with her fingers pyramid up. She says, "Finally, the business is mine." And that's where we end.
Awesome. Awesome girl power assassination. I love it. Sisters are doing it for themselves. That's super cool. Thank you. This was a holiday hoot.
Thank you.
A
I hope
a
you enjoyed it. I'm glad you
a,
enjoyed it.
nasty Noel. Yes. Seasons beatings. It was beautiful. I loved it.
And I hope our audience loved it too. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Raiders, for coming in and saying hey. It's a pretty mellow week for us over here at the Onyx Path. Most of the folks are enjoying the calibration holiday, but we do still have a little bit of programming going here on the channel. We did still have a tasty bit drop this week. If you've not yet checked out the Monday meeting notes, the new tasty bit is up. It is for Scion Masks of Mythos. So that's cool to see that getting some support. It's a new location, complete with a map, everything you need to run it. So head over to Drive Through RPG and pick that up. The link should be in the Monday meeting notes. I don't have it handy, but that is what's up for this week's release.
And if you
Other
want
than
to
that,
if you want to get more Trinity Continuum action going, Anima just dropped 2 weeks ago, so that's always fun as well.
that is fun. And let's see if I still have a yeah. So we have game night is coming up on Friday. I know I am running The World Below Friday night at 7 p.m. Central, I believe. And we have so that's 8 Eastern. And I have room for 3 more players. So if you're interested in coming down and checking out The World Below, head over to Start Playing. You can sign up right now. We've got 3 seats open at my table. If it fills up, maybe I'll do another one on Saturday too. We'll see. I'm feeling flossy. Maybe we'll run an extra one. Definitely stop by, Start Playing and check that out. There's a lot of other cool games running as well. Other than that, I think that's all I've got.
Where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere online at Travis Legg. If you want to get a full experience of like what I've got going on, Start Playing and kind of a one-stop shop for all of my releases and various stuff. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Travis Legg. We post public updates for releases and things like that. But then, of course, patrons can get things like discounts, free products, discounted spots in my games, things like that. So lots of cool perks, early access to podcasts and videos. So yeah, head over there and check that out.
And for me, I'm the Awkward GM Corbin. You can find me over at YouTube at the Awkward GM Corbin. Right now, I'm going through a Trinity Continuum kick, which is also why I love running these one-on-one shots. So you might see more of that. I did a lore episode not too long ago, and I also did one on Trinity Continuum Core, how to make a character a little bit. If you're interested in seeing that, I also have a Patreon where you can usually just get a lot of the episodes earlier, even if you just put $1 a month towards it. And if I hit $30 a month, I am going to run a Mage the Awakening actual play, even though I hate Mage. I just
So why did you choose that one? Pick something else.
I did Vampire the Requiem, and then people were like, "Oh, you should do the Mage one because we get to torture you."
Oh, that's fair.
So I
There
said,
is a there's a certain value in making people miserable as part of your investment. Um, the other thing that nope, it's gone. I had some brilliant idea pop in my head, and then it just as quickly popped away. Um, so, but
"No,
definitely check out Corbin's Patreon. Corbin, thank you very much for running the game. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. You have started. Are you resuming more beginner's guide of
oh
anima?
yeah,
Start.
yeah, next week should be Beginner Guide to Anima, where I create an anima character, which, if you like high fantasy, anima characters in Trinity Continuum Anima are essentially high fantasy characters. It's a little, it seems like a little backdoor into having a story path system that is high fantasy that isn't the world below, which is also, I think that finished Kickstarter already, but it's out there.
Yeah, it finished the backer kit campaign just before Abyssals went live, and I think the pledge manager should be up like early January for World Below. Um, but yeah, definitely. Again, you have an opportunity to come play it this Friday if you want. I got seats open. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, Anima does a very cool job of emulating the MMO experience. I just recently broke down my holiday gift to myself was to pick up WoW Classic. So I have been stomping the fields of Azeroth
I've just
for the
been
last.
I've just been going through Steam Winter Sale. So much stuff has dropped, but that's not here or there. Anyway, but thank you so much for joining me, Travis. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good one, and we shall go to pre-roll and maybe raid some people. I don't know.
Excellent. Thanks so much. See y'all later. Take care of yourselves and have a happy holiday.
Stay safe.